Station change on a new bus bound for Yuma. More points of encounter, so many lost ones. Till I'm rid of this holding tank of toxins, there's not another soul I can help. That would kill me for sure.
They call me Charleston. Part 1, Forever Now. Cubo. Before we begin, let me give you a little Forever Now universe rundown. Take the glossary above and pay attention. My time is valuable, a time and dates don't really match up in the way you all count shit. So just abandon your calendars and holidays for the rest of this tale, okay? Dwellers are the mindless minions. Scallywags or waggers are warriors. Tough as shit. Disciples are the generals. Think Norse gods on roids. Rare are the Dark Lords of Mictlan. The Fallen Son, or FS, now he's one such dark asshole. Now, on our end, the collective has composers, healers, scouts, and observers. It's a lot to cover, but just know we don't have a hierarchy. It's just a never ending family feud that soon will end. Now, the most powerful entity ever conceived was the Hot Five. These mofos were timekeepers of old, were god warriors of sound. Sound is a mathematical language we all speak. My celestial kin, who are musicians, know this. The Hot Five embodied love and saved civilians time and time again. Their power? When playing together, the Hot Five created waves, laser blasts of energy from their instruments. The drum, bass, guitar, horn, and accordion channeled elements, high force vibrations that did the will of their players. Now, plenty of times, space waggers raged wars with the Hot Five and the time gates they protected. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost died.
The healer. Am I dead? Again. Abuelo's gonna be pissed. I'm on a bus bound for Yuma. Points of encounter, humans, plain folk, lost ones. We depart and I have the shivers. I'm overworked and due for a long holiday. Shit, let's be honest, I'm dying for a vacay. Eastbound, heading towards the dunes of my childhood, let me tell y'all a little bit about me and my heavenly talents. The only way I can best use my gift is if I keep on moving, never staying in one place, city or county. No set routines. I help more people this way. No, I save more people this way. I'm more effective with my boots on the ground. I visit district after district, year after year to see potentials like myself. And along the way, I help folks out like you, the affected. Depending on what line I ride, there can be a rash of scavengers preying on said normies and turning them. So while my main primary purpose is to prepare gifted ones to cross over, I love to heal and help travelers who are seemingly lost along the way. These souls who take trains, buses, and free shuttles are chin deep in loneliness, fear, and anger. I don't need physical contact or a handshake to change their lives. No, I just need to sit down next to them. The longer, the better. An open seat is tricky to maneuver, and I need time with the life I'm trying to change. Space and time is not ideal on a transit line. The less time, the less influence I have. In seconds, I can change a person's mood. Minutes, their day. Longer, their year, and potentially an entire lifespan. I realign their mental attitude, that's all. The mental to the divine. Over the ages, people have slowly stepped away from our purpose. For lack of better words, we forgot about God. So I could explain the why and the state of our world, but you already know the situation. So I make people remember God I make them recollect by not saying a single word. I just sit and feel for them, feel for what they loved and missed the most, their purest self. When I find it, I create a wonderful window for them. Deep in their hearts, I set it. Once they look in and out of themselves, it reminds them of what they cherish and love the most. They get to fucking fall in love again with their younger selves. They fall into this pure place of freedom. I guess you could say I'm a divine ninja. Damn, I love my job.
The chavala I'm talking about is Lala Coates, 15, orphan, highly intelligent, and already able to levitate. Not only that, but she is a sunrise changer. I'm not speaking in riddles here. Lala can literally stop rivers from running, scramble your brain, and bend the equations of matter and time. You heard me. She's got that mad, deep composer's blood. However, she can also be depressed. She's a bit behind in her emotional immaturity, which can play with her mind and budding powers. She's got a harrowing journey ahead. My concerns go way back when said Chavala loved to chase seabirds. Her powers, handed down from her parents, were very raw, pure, innocent. When she joyfully played with the birds, doomed souls nearby were signaled to her being. Even Yao Tsing was summoned. Her adopted family had taken her to the marina to watch the boats and surfers in the sunset. There was a terrible wind playing with the sails and people's balance. No doubt that asshole, child god Yao Tsing, was playing with the weather from the nearby watery depths.
The Lonely Pine. Am I dead? I know this place, but where is everyone? Oh, my head is pounding. When I open my eyes, I recognize my location, but how did I get here? Think, Lala, think. South of the playground at the base of a huge pine tree. Yes, I know this tree. I spent many afternoons reading and studying here. I love the solitude of this small park, especially during the day where few people stroll by and shadows would loom long over me into the late afternoon. I first floated here when I was 9. But how did I get to Michigan Park? Why am I freezing? I put my hand to my jaw, the source of my pain. Is it broken? I have felt this pain before. Lala was in shock at the new yet familiar surroundings. The last thing she remembered was how plain the broccoli was. Her tia, a notorious bad cook, had recently been on a health kick. For the past year, Joe stopped cooking. No lard, no butter. There was no salt to be had anywhere in the house. But Lala loved her tia and would eat her plate clean. Though she dreamt of Bonita, her now fabled mother, Lala never was left without or lacked any care. Her tia loved her beyond the sunsets that played in Lala's thoughts. Yet now all she could think of was that side dish of plain fucking veggies. Sunday dinner, then the park. Alone at the park. She slowly gathered herself and slowly stand up. Nausea overcame her. Her knees buckled as she spat bright blood. Sprinkled like a star-filled galaxy, her blood was before her feet. What happened to me? Lala wept.
Time to cross over. At the Coates crime scene, Lala's family was gone, and the authorities had suspected her. What brilliant minds I had to deal with. Now, Lala had been given fluids and meds. That time jump dehydrated her. No training at all. No training. All emotion will do that to you. I had a gifted primo once. One time jumped too early on a dare. Now he's a mute, living in Tucson, unable to walk without a stroller. Dusting off my scruffy persona, I arrived in full uncle mode. I even wore a suit and managed to convince these dicks Lala was with her school's choir at some music event. Lots of minds and healing hands at work, but a quick rewrite of everyone's dream paths, and soon Lala had a dozen alibis. Her weary eyes rested on mine. Between the mindless shuffling of the detectives at work, she acknowledged what really happened here. In that moment of mass confusion and horror, she teleported herself to her lovely pine. but not without taking a wagger out with her. The wagger's jaw looked as if her plate of broccoli was coming out of his throat. 2 years passed, and she's a marked woman now. Her powers are enormous, and only Bravo, the chosen one, our granddaddy, can guide us as well as protect her. His lands are truly sacred. Time to cross over. FS and his bitches will never relent until she's dead. Last part, they call me Charleston. A shivering sleep. I sit in the back. I'm dreaming of my mother, the warrior hummingbird. I see her flying around Bravo's land. A few people complained to the bus captain about my funky ass scent and disheveled look. I'm part of a collective of cousins, and I can't wait to see my family. The captain stampers uneven down the aisle. Shit, here we go again, I groan. He asks to look at my ticket, scans me up and down. Kind smile, but he's got a bad cough. It's packed in this damn bus, and yet there's enough space for him to get right in my face. He hacks up something awful, handkerchief out, he wipes his mouth. He's sick, I can sense it. Well, anyone with 2 eyes can see the dude's colors off. This illness stems from a recent loss he endured. Most cancers start that way, with a quiet cough.
That's a nasty cough, I tell him. The bus takes a bad hop. He practically falls into my lap. I steady him with my gaze and hand. Time slows for the doughy captain. Yeah, I've had this cough since the change of season. I got healing hands on him now. There's nothing more beautiful than the desert in November, I say, and he takes a huge breath of air. He returns my ticket, pauses, and looks briefly out the window. Couldn't agree more. He's a good dude who just needs a break. Our eyes lock. Good trip out west, he asked. No cough now, just a smile from that round face. It was bittersweet. Family, I say. I know what you mean, he waddles away. I go back to my shivering meditation. Damn, feels like death inside me.
Bravo, Granddaddy, we need to heal me. He hates making visits to this world. It bums him out too much. Sure. Bravo is the greatest of them all, but at the end of the day, he was once a Buckeye orphan. I heard about the last day he spent on Earth as a man. For one glorious afternoon, he got to play catch with his hijos before becoming immortal. Shit. Maybe I can toss a ball or levitate in the sun with Lala one day. That can still happen, right, abuelo? I silently pray. Now that's funny. Forgiveness is my salvation. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, old roundhead ass from down the aisle. Influx of humanity. I love riding the bus. I tell you, I hope I can make it to Yuma. I need to see Titi. She makes the best caldo. Shit, talk about healing powers. That soup has cured kingdoms.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm barely able to talk now. Lala, Chitlali, my rising star, your mama named you after the night skies. I know Lala will love the sunsets of Miklan. Bravo's got big dreams for her, dreams from long, long ago. Yuma close? Fuck, I better not croak before Granddaddy. Granddaddy will be pissed. I hack up some of the round face's nastiness. No handkerchief, just my sleeve. I wipe my face. Looking out the window, the first rain of the season brings to life the desert of my childhood.
Bonita, my wife, she used to love playing in the rain. The passing desert view reminds me of something she once wrote to me. She loved letter writing.
Take a photo of me as I dance in the desert. Tip your hat to God as you sway our hips to hip, sweet passion, glistening hope, all lost in your reflection. Read this in the future for me, but tell me you love me now.
Your name, sir. I'd like to know it. His color's back. He's going to be fine. I tell the cured captain before passing out. They call me Charleston. Am I dead yet?
Thanks, Japanese.